What is up, YouTubers? Johnza here, and welcome back to some more Doki Literature Club Plus. Now, before we get into this episode, for one, you can notice it's a long one, and there's a perfectly good reason why this is a long video itself. If you've seen the video last week of Slime Rancher, I mentioned that I fucked up and deleted some future episodes of that before the 17th one. So you remember that little moment that happened? It happened again with this one, right when we're near the end of it anyways, so yeah, I kind of just realized it because for last week's uploads, I realized that the episode 24 was the only one I had left, and there was still more gameplay, which I know I've played through the rest of this game already, but I think I've accidentally deleted the recordings of them, and when I thought I already edited and exported them, which apparently I didn't, so, yeah, that's a bit of ouchies right there. So, yeah, in fact, one of the, the background that I had opened up earlier was, kind of a little spoiler, so I just went back to this one with, Sayori and Natsuki, so, yeah, so we're gonna continue with side stories, as you can see, balance, self-love is the last one we haven't done. The last episode was Reflection when Monica was helping Yuri out, try to, connect back with, Natsuki, and I have done the rest of Self-Love, and yes, there is another, extra thing down here that we'll also cover, but, this is gonna be one big mega episode, because I'd rather not put this all in multiple episodes again, because, yeah. So we're gonna go through all of Self-Love and Equals, and if there was something I missed in the original game that I haven't shown, then too bad, I'm not playing that again. I've already tried to cover as much as I can on that, and if I miss something, then oh well. But we're gonna go and finish off with the side stories, because that's one thing I haven't shown off yet, at least the ones I can remember. Because actually, the last time I recorded this episode, I have to say it was probably almost half a year ago. I'd have to say at this point, it has actually been quite a while since I've recorded the last episode. And like I keep saying as well, I normally pre-record a lot of these episodes ahead of time. For instance, last week we have up to episode 10 up. Yeah, we had up to episode 10 of Legends of Arceus, yet I've already recorded up to 42 episodes, so there's still 32 episodes that I still need to upload, and normally I post one of those kind of videos per week, so, I just like to do a lot of pre-recording and then have them ready to put up for content and all, so, yeah. So, yeah, not gonna put any spoilers, but I definitely know this one definitely takes, this Self-Love was definitely very emotional in this one, so be prepared. So yeah, let's begin side story. I might as well lower the thing. Okay. I just gotta clear my throat a little bit. Okay. I'll try to get the voices the same as well. Like I said, it's been a while, so. It's only been one day since Yuri's letter was delivered to Natsuki, with Monika's help. Alright, they were making a letter together, that's right. Yeah, that's what Monika was helping with Yuri, yeah. I didn't look too much into the episode, I just look at small little clips to know what to put in with the title, because as you guys know, in the last episode, it was called Doki Literature Club plus 24, and then dash, Monika helps Yuri, end of dash. So, at least I think, they're not dashes, I don't know. But those kind of titles I normally put in. So, this one's probably going to be called episode 25. I did the thing again. or at least say the end of this game, I don't know. Well, we'll get to it. And I'm probably going to be clearing my throat a lot in this episode, so. Because Yuri chose not to attend the club meeting that day. She and Natsuki haven't faced each other since. Although it's only lunchtime, Yuri finds herself anxiously counting the hours until she needs to face the outcome of her efforts, whether good or bad. And because the passing by of students was making her feel even more anxious, Yuri picked out the most secured spot she could find to spend her lunch. And we're at the stairway. Because this staircase is under maintenance, no one would have any reason for coming here. It's such a relaxing feeling to have a moment of solitude in the middle of a frantic school day. Shock! Natsuki. Yeep. What are you doing here? I just... Yuri grips her book with enough force to wrinkle the pages beneath the pressure of her thumbs. Well, what are you doing here? I asked you first! I just came to get a drink from the vending machine. The other one is out of drinks I like. Yuri noticed Natsuki fidgeting with a few coins between her fingers. She nods, avoiding eye contact. Natsuki, also looking away, shuffles over to the vending machine. It's so quiet that every one of her movements seems to reverberate through the entire stairwell. After far too long, she finally receives her beverage, which she then fidgets with the place of a coin. It's some kind of iced tea. I love iced tea. But instead of leaving right away, Natsuki just stands in place. She glances all around her. It's like way too quiet back here. It's creepy. I mean, that's not what I meant. I mean, it's totally cool that it's your thing or whatever. Like, I can see how it suits you, so... Not because I think you're creepy or something. I didn't mean that either. You know, I'm just gonna stop talking. That seems like a good idea. It's okay. Everything is okay. Yuri finds herself attending some words of comfort after hearing Natsuki stammer herself into dejection. Seemingly in response, Natsuki approaches the base of the staircase and hesitantly sits herself down near Yuri. Well, I can leave if you want. Yuri shakes her head. Natsuki twists the cap off her drink and takes a sip. Gulp. Despite receiving Yuri's general permission, Natsuki doesn't say anything more. Yuri continues to read, or at least she pretends to. Yeah, you can still read that. And the two just sit there for a long time. The tension seems to fade a little bit as the time passes. Without any words, this seems to mean at least something, though it's not clear what they may be. Lunch ends more quickly than expected. Natsuki is the first to stand up with her empty drink bottle. Are you coming today? To the club? Yuri nods. I'm sorry for being so awkward. I'm really bad at talking about this stuff. I just can't for some reason. I don't know why. But I want to, eventually. There's no rush. I promise. Thanks. Tension. The next day. Natsuki appears from around the corner and steps into the vending machine, glancing at Yuri as she does so. Today, she seems to be holding some kind of book as well. Oh, you're here again. Well, I just came here to read this, because there ain't any people around here. Oh, I thought you didn't like how quiet it was. Well, I don't, but there's no people here. I see. Should I leave then because I'm a people? Natsuki sits down. The mood feels much different today than it did yesterday. After yesterday's lunch and the club meeting that followed, Natsuki and Yuri are beginning to feel more relaxed around each other again. Though Yuri's letter is still lingering in the back of Natsuki's mind, she continues to decor around it. But it's okay that I'm here. But that's okay that I'm here? Yeah, I don't care. I mostly just don't feel like dealing with the crap I get from my friends about it. Especially since, like, they all just assume I stopped reading manga after I joined the literature club. Not that I'm trying to hide it from them exactly, but I just don't want it to come up again now after I've waited so long for this new volume to come out. Literally months at this point. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I had iced tea. Not actually, but like I actually did just have lunch, so. Anyways, you don't have other friends who are into manga? Not unless online friends count. And Siori, but that's different because she's not exactly into it. She just likes it. You know what I mean? Honestly, you're lucky that the books you're into, who at least just look like books, so you don't have to feel like everyone is constantly judging you by what you're reading. That would be so awful, especially since I already hate attention so much. Well, it's a good thing to have thick skin, I guess. By the way, I would totally recommend finding some friends online if you haven't already. If you're like me and have no one to share your hobbies with. Oh, I have online friends. Since middle school, actually. I was especially desperate back then. It's somewhat embarrassing to resent about those days. Sometimes I feel like the me from a few years ago would have benefit from a good smack across the face. Oh, whatever. We're all just stupid kids back then, anyways. We were all just stupid kids back then. Some of the fanfics I wrote, thank God I used a posodium? Posodium? I don't know. I'm not a good reader. I've luckily managed to read this quite good so far, so that's a plus. Doki Doki plus. Anyways. But I liked it at the time. I got a little fulfillment. I got a lot of fulfillment out of it. And plus, I can look back and say with confidence that I became a better person since then. So I don't think I would change anything. I wonder if a few years from now we'll think the same thing about our current selves. Probably. That doesn't make you uncomfortable? No, of course not. I don't care what other people think of me, especially someone who doesn't even exist yet. Alright, here. Natsuki raises her hand to her face and forcefully slaps her own cheek. That's from me. That's me. That's me from the future. That's me from the future. Okay. That's me from the future coming to terms with me right now. Also, ow, I didn't mean to do it that hard. When you, like, slap yourself, but you accidentally slap yourself too hard, it's like, ow, I actually really did a number on that. Ah! Yuri doesn't seem to react. But then, to Natsuki's surprise, Yuri shyly looks the other way before lifting her arm and doing the same thing to herself, loudly smacking her cheek. She turns red and stares into her lap, but it's unable to hide the smile as though it was a really funny joke. Oh, was that just... Oh, that's what I was talking about. I didn't know you had it in you too. Oh, I don't even know why I did that. Maybe I thought it would be funny. Sorry, I keep distracting you. You said you were looking forward to reading, but I keep going on about all this nonsense. I'll let you get to reading. Oh, right. Yeah, I guess I'll do that then. The conversation ends quickly, and Natsuki opens her book. The two read silently for the remainder of the lunch hour. Then the whole time Yuri feels distracted by the twist of regret over having so abruptly forced the end of their conversation. Sorry if there's a little light in the background, but it's not really much. You're back. Or should I say, the next day. Yeah, I'm here. I'm nearly low again. Another day passes. During lunchtime, Natsuki finds herself having wandered to the stairwell once more. Hey, did you buy that? Yeah. What else? I'm not a thief like you. Anyways, Nessie quickly notices a bottle of iced tea on the staircase where she normally sits. Yuri nods, avoiding eye contact. Oh, that's nice. What, like, for me? But you didn't know I was coming here today. What if I didn't show up? Well, I would have to trick you myself, I guess. It was a stupid thing to do. No, it wasn't stupid. I just thought, never mind. What I meant to say is thank you. And that is a really nice gesture. It's okay if you don't feel that way. I do. It's just another thing that I don't mean. I swear, please believe me. Yuri pauses, then nods. Talking is hard. I get it wrong I get it wrong a lot too. So I believe you. Nessie exhales in relief. She then sits down next to Yuri and takes a drink. When Yuri, she's probably overthinking it so much that Natsuki's tipped response filled her with self-doubt. I'll do something nice for you next time. Please, don't feel obligated. I want to. I want to do nice things too. Okay. Thank you. You can thank me after. I figure out how to do something nice. I'll do it then in two. Natsuki sighs. Nothing. It just reminds me how I haven't been getting along with my friends lately. Is that why you've been coming here? Well, no, not exactly. I haven't been avoiding them on purpose or anything. There are just other things I'd rather be doing during lunch lately. I like being around them when we're all just having fun, but they also just can't take anything seriously. So when I'm, I don't know, feeling serious, then there's attitude just really gets me on my nerves. It only has gotten worse ever since I joined the literature club. How come? I don't know. I feel like I used to be really good with just putting up with it, because it would be so stupid to cause drama over a joke I didn't like or something. But I just have a hard time doing it lately. But it's just my fault for being overly sensitive. If I have a problem, I'm not going to demand for everyone around me to change. But, yeah, I know. Maka and Sierra really don't agree with that kind of thing. But they're not in my position, so it's very easy for them to say you should just communicate your feelings or whatever. But it's not like my friend group does that kind of thing. I would just be making an embarrassment of myself. Sorry, none of this has anything to do with you. I don't know why I'm even talking about it. It's okay. I like listening. What? Listening to other people's problems? Yes. That's weird. Sorry. I just like learning about people. Do you think that it's weird? No, that's not weird. I probably just misunderstood, so, I don't know. Does that mean I should keep going? If you'd like. Okay. Well, I don't know what to talk about now. Well, what are some things you like about your friends? A lot of things. I mean, they're really fun to hang out with, like after school and on the weekends. And they really like my bacon. And it's fun to complain about school together. Remember those days of complaining about school? They make me laugh a lot, and we have a lot of good memories and inside jokes. Oh, I'm bad at a lot of those things. So? Are those all that are important to you? Well, kind of. They're not things I need to get out of everybody. Everyone in the club is really different from that, but I'm still friends with them too. Well, Suri really likes your bacon. Probably because she's always hungry. And she makes you laugh. And she complains? I don't know. either says compliment or complain. I actually don't remember now. That doesn't mean she's anything like my other friends. Well, unlike them, they're nice. She's a nice person who cares about your feelings. Excuse me? How about you don't that way about my friends that you don't even know anything about? Natsuki stands up. No, wait. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I didn't want to say something bad. Please don't leave. Natsuki sighs and shakes her head. That's fine. As long as you understand that you can't just judge people like that. I'm sorry. Natsuki sits back down. You can't just compare friends like that and like measure who's better than who. Everyone's different. I'm sorry. I just don't like people who want to hurt you. A moment of silence stretches between them. They don't want to hurt me. We just like to tease each other about stupid things. It's fun. I don't like that. Well, that's why I'm friends with them and you're not. You like that? Just don't worry about me. It's not worth it. I'm sorry. Wish I knew how to help with social conflicts. Like how Monica can. She's really good at these things. Not really. Also, I don't always want help. Sometimes it's just stuff I have to deal with myself. That's what Monica and Sayori never seem to understand. Sometimes all you do is look at them wrong and they're all like, "Oh, what's wrong? Is everything okay?" I just want to mind my own business sometimes. Decide myself if I want to talk about things. The only one who understands that is you. So you really shouldn't be so hard on yourself. You're not as bad as you think. Oh, you don't need to reassure me or anything. I mean that. Plus, it makes sense that someone who doesn't talk a lot would make a good listener. That is true. I don't talk a lot to people that often, but I do listen. I listen well. Thank you. You're also nice. It's really hard for me. It doesn't come naturally at all. It's so weird because I always thought of myself as someone who can just say whatever's on my mind. But I feel like it only works when I'm annoyed or upset, or I want to say something mean. Why am I like that? You don't have to answer that. I'm just talking to myself. Yuri nods and remains silent. Natsuki notices her fidgeting with the pages of her book. How come you like reading so much? Oh, well, a lot of reasons. But I just get sucked into it really easily. It's so immersive, like I want to be a part of it. I think there's a lot of things about people in real life that make me feel uncomfortable and frustrated. Especially when it comes to following social conversations and group interactions. I just don't really understand it, and I have no real desire to participate. But it's different with books. It feels like I always want to be around the characters. I feel such a strong emotional connection with them in ways I've never felt with real people. So in a way, it can sometimes feel more than real life. Really? It's that hard for you to be around people, like, all the time? Fairly often, especially in group settings. When people are making all kinds of conversation and saying jokes and all of that, I don't know what to do and just disengage. Oh, doesn't that get lonely? I don't think so. I think I can still enjoy spending time with people one by one, and I have online friends too, of course. Do you ever wish you could be friends with the characters in your books? All the time. Sometimes so badly that it makes my heart ache. Yeah. Me too. I mean, hell, if Sonic the Hedgehog or Pikachu was here right now, like, I would definitely want to be friends with them. If I'm being completely honest. I think I could be good friends with Sonic and Pikachu, you know? And some other game characters if they were real. Really? Mm-hmm. A lot. Like, more than anything. After Natsuki mutters that, silence fills with the stairway once more. But it's a mutual silence. One full of understanding. And that's the first bit of self-love, which now we're going to be going straight into part 2. To let us get the going. Hey. Oh, hello. Almost thought you weren't coming today. Yeah, well, lunch is more than halfway over. Natsuki had typically been meeting Yuri in the stairwell much earlier since it's had been such a good way of dodging her friends when she didn't feel like seeing them. Today she was holding a large plastic container in both hands. I ran into my friends, so I hang out with them for a while. Is that so? Yeah. I was in a good mood today, so I figured I should. I haven't seen them in a while, which I had to come up with an excuse for it, but I expected that. Plus, I have way more of these than I know what to do with, so I figure I'd share them with you too. As she sits down, Natsuki opens the lid of her container. You made cupcakes? You know it. It's been a while at this point, so I figured it's about time again. You can take one if you want. Yuri takes a cupcake, carefully swirls it between her fingers. It's brown with a dark green frosting, endlessly shaped in a floral pattern and topped with some kind of glittery powder. Now that sounds good. I want one now. If I could ever have Natsuki's cupcakes, I would. And you better not take that out of context. I know how people are like on the internet. Stop it. Stop it in the comments. Stop it. Anyways. Especially you, Turret. I know how you're like. How pretty. I just ate, so I may not be able to finish it. Are they for the club? I guess so. I didn't really think about it. I just made them. I just thought that because green is Monica's favorite color, right? Well, yeah, but that's not really... Yuri takes a small bite. This is a green tea flavored. It's Yuri's favorite. I love green tea. Oh, do you? It's just a random idea I wanted to try, so... Haha. Don't laugh at me. I'm not. I just felt happy. Oh, sorry. Usually when... Never mind what I mean... is that I'm glad. Sorry for saying dumb things again. I just wanted to do something nice. And this is something I happen to be good at. And I don't know that you like them from past experience. Hmm? Mary turns red, recalling the time she treated herself rather generosity to Natsuki's cupcakes. Ironically, her mouth is too full of cupcakes to stammer an excuse, so she just settles for a disapproved look. How did you get into bacon? Oh, well, I don't know, it kind of just always appealed to me. Well, a few years ago, I read this one manga with a lot of bacon, so I got, super into it for a while. I was probably making stuff almost every day. But it's something that I always knew I'd like anyways. It's like bacon is like art, but when you get good at it, it gets more delicious too. I'm struggling to imagine myself putting my heart into something so artistic, knowing that it would just be eaten afterwards. Haha, yeah, maybe you're too practical for it. I think I prefer to be on the receiving end. That's my other favorite part about it. If something I can do that makes people happy, unconditionally, everyone is just so thankful, and in that moment, you get to be like the bringer of joy. I don't know. It just makes me feel valued. Yeah, I guess that. So you're able to make up your own friends. So you're able to make up with your friends today. Hmm? Well, there really wasn't anything to make up with them about. We weren't fighting or anything. You weren't? Maybe I misunderstood. It only turns into a fight if I lose my cool, and that's just unnecessary drama. It only makes things worse. So they're not going to stop? I mean, it only happens sometimes anyways. It's just the way they are. I'm the only one who ever has a problem with it. It's not worth it. Especially since I have somewhere to go now when I don't feel like hanging out with them. Oh, I see. So Natsuki's using Yuri as an escape. Cool. Anyways, the cupcake's empty foil wrapper audibly crinkles as Yuri clenches a fist. Oh. I'm glad that the situation is resolved, and that you don't have to avoid them anymore. Yeah, me too. And I don't have to bother you during your alone time anymore. I'm sure you have a lot of rain to catch up on. Yeah. I know that cupcakes are basically nothing compared to all of the stuff you've done for me, but it's the best I can do. So you can have the rest of them. Natsuki grabs the box and slides it over to Yuri's feet. Yuri stares at the box, and she shakes her head and slides them back. You should save them for your other friends. But I made them for you. Natsuki's voice whines as she protests. I know, and I like them very much, exactly as you thought. You succeeded, but I know you care about making your friends happy too. And if this is your way of you know how to make that happen, then I'm not going to take it from you. No, they were for making you happy. You make me happy. You're worth more than cupcakes to some people. That's why they want to spend time with you and be your friend. Without warning, tears pour from Natsuki's eyes. She pulls her knees to her chest and starts sobbing in her arms. Natsuki? Such a bad person. Yuri stambles, feeling panicked. I didn't mean to say something bad. Natsuki shakes her head while wiping her eyes. You didn't. Natsuki tries to choke back her sobs, but struggles to speak through them. I just really hate myself sometimes. And it feels so wrong when you say these nice things to me. Like, I don't deserve it. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I am. It's so difficult. And I can't think of a single thing about myself that somebody would like. And I hate myself for bothering you during lunch. I just thought it was my chance to be a good person, like to be nice and do the things you wrote about in that letter. I know if I tried in the club, Suri and Monica would be super annoyed and make a huge deal out of it. You know, I think a lot of these negative things too about myself. I never felt like a good person. I always synergize everything I say, and later I feel like I said all the wrong things. And I just spend so much time thinking about myself, hating myself, and feeling like everyone else must hate me too. So I understand some of that through my own experience. And that's why I wanted to write that letter and express my feelings. It pained me to see those things in someone else that I saw in myself. Natsuki sniffles. Yuri rustles through her bag and pulls out some tissues, then hands them to Natsuki. Monica told me that it makes a good person to reflect on these things. That it takes a good person. Sorry, I said that wrong. The desire to improve yourself, that makes you a good person. So don't worry so much. Also, are things about you that people would like, so... Like what? I'm kidding. Like how you're fun for people to be around. And you're not shy, you know how to make people laugh. And you're very passionate about things, and you know how to take the lead. And you care a lot about other people. And just a lot of things. Oh. Well, now you're making me feel really embarrassed. Well, you're the one who asked. And don't you think I feel embarrassed? As he tries to hide a smile. Then she sighs, and as it fades again. Every time I come here, I always think it's the last time, but then I keep coming back for some reason. Is that bad? Just really confusing. I mean, my friends and I go way back, so ditching them all the time feels like I don't know. Feels like what? Natsuki's voice gets quieter. Maybe I'm scared that they'll get mad at me. I really don't know what to do. She pauses. Yuri stares into the distance, tracing her eyes along the pattern of the floor tiles when she thinks to herself. What would you do, hypothetically, if your friends were happy for you instead of mad at you? Happy for what? Happy that your new club is making you happy. Well, that's just not a fair hypothetical. Natsuki says that, but with little confidence in her voice. I always told myself that I don't rely on approval of others to be happy. And I still feel that way, but spending time with people who put me down whenever I don't have their approval, that's probably what's making me feel so confused. But I'm threatened out of the thing... threatening? I'm threatening out of the things that should make me happy. So no matter what it's like, I have to be unhappy to be happy. It's making my head hurt. But that must make it really difficult to feel comfortable with yourself. Being made to feel like you're wrong just for being the person you are. It really goes against everything I believe in, doesn't it? Goes against the kind of person I want to be. I'm fed up with it. I'm fed up with a lot of things. Natsuki presses her palms in her forehead and shakes her head. I know what's best for me, but I keep convincing myself out of it. It's so easier to be comfortably unhappy when it is to do something so scary. To do what? You know, end it. With them? Natsuki nods. I don't think you are actively considering that as an option. It wasn't until recently. It's just one of those things where, like, it's been a certain way for a long that you just get used to it. Like, so much of you has gone into it, so much that it feels like that just how your life is. And throwing it away is like throwing away such a big part of your life. It makes me feel sick to think about. Natsuki sighs. It's really just scary, and it's terrifying. What are you scared of? I don't know, a lot of things. Like being alone. Not having anyone to talk to or hang out with. Not being able to replace what I had with them. And I don't want them to hate me. And I'm scared they'll hurt me for going against them. Physically? Not physically. But... Yuri clenches her fists. Natsuki. What? If anyone even thinks of causing you harm, I will unleash hell upon them. Natsuki snorts in laughter. Don't laugh at me. Sorry, I like that, that's all. Oh, well, I meant it. I would literally call Satan and have him kill all of your ex-friends. Anyways. I know you did. Natsuki gives Yuri an endearing look. I need that. Also, the little flash there was me pressing X by mistake. I forgot you can just do that and just have this. I needed it. As the conversation leaps, Natsuki again slides her box of cupcakes over to Yuri. Just take them, okay? I don't want other people to have them anymore. Are you sure? Natsuki nods. I'm sure. I will then. I'll enjoy them. Natsuki looks away, but a feeling of warmth spreads through her. She holds onto that feeling, knowing it will give her courage. I see. Alright, yes, there was a cut there, but that was because I was, it was already 41 minutes into the thing, so I thought that was a good place to kind of cut and, get the next bit of recording in for this episode, So, anyways, I literally just turned on and off the recording, so nothing's changed. Obviously, you just might have noticed a little cut and that was it, so, anyways. Back to the story! Ah, you're here first today. Mm-hmm. And you brought reading materials. Mm-hmm. Just, mm-hmm. Natsuki is sitting in her usual spot this time, holding a volume of manga while her lunch sits beside her. Yuri sits down as well and opens her own book. It sucks how when in a good series has to come to an end. Like, it's such a big part of your life, and one day there's just nothing left. I feel that, honestly, because I sometimes think about some series that I watch and they just end. Like, for example, there's a FNAF animation series I've been watching. It's from a YouTuber called, I don't know how to pronounce it, it's Zelio37. And I don't want to go into too much details because you haven't seen it yourself, but like, it's a very good, interesting series, especially with Season 4, because there's a lot of episodes in Season 4 than there was in the other parts. But, like, it definitely, like, goes way off from what he started with, which is still very interesting to this day. And I'm always excited to watch a new video of his, so, once that comes to an end, I'm going to be like, man, now I have nothing to look forward to. Anyways. Makes you feel so empty. Unfortunately, I'm about to experience that myself. I'm on the last book of the series. No! Not the last book of the series! That sucks. But there's also something satisfying about letting a story conclude. I don't know if I'd want to go on forever. That is fair. Like, you do kind of want it to end at a certain point to know what happens and if they have a happy ending or something bad happens. Like, you want to like have a good kind of ending to it, and know like all the mysteries that happen within it. So, maybe. But there's some things that I wish I could. On the other hand, have you ever read something that overstated its welcome? Yeah, definitely. Sorry, I just felt like I was about to burp. Anyways, I think at least one thing I can read that got pretty unbearable like halfway through, and the ending really sucked. So it sucks when something good has to come to an end, but it also sucks when they just keep inventing more plot even until you don't like it anymore. With the Pokemon anime, how it literally is gonna be going into 9 generations now. 9 generations! God, and depends if we even see Ash in Gen 9. We'll see. Because of how Journeys is going, who knows? I guess it just sucks either way. Well, that's the neutral of all things. They come to an end. The two fall silent. They slowly eat while making their way through their respective reading material. Except Natsuki doesn't seem to be touching her food at all. You don't go out during the weekends, right? Excuse me? Like with friends at the mall or downtown or whatever? I'm not a total shut-in, you know. Oh, my bad for making such an exception. Well, I'm sure I go out less often than other people like you and the others in the club. I don't really meet with friends and barely spend time like that. Well, to be fair, I only really hang out with one friend at this point, and normally we don't really go out too much. We either kind of just hang out at her place or whatever, so, you know. I'm usually meeting with my board game group. Board game group? With my online friends, you know? The ones I told you that are online. It doesn't matter, it's just more nerdy stuff. Why do you ask anyways? I was just curious. I realized that I couldn't picture it, so I was just curious. Yuri looks at Natsuki and realizes that she's shaken. Don't look at me like that. Sorry. Natsuki pulls her knees into her chest and puts her head down. I can't take this. Did I do something? Yuri gets flustered. Her mind is racing over what she might have said or done. I did. I ended it. I texted them earlier and telling them, and then I just blocked them because I was so afraid of their response. And now it feels like I'm dying inside. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you can see that, okay. Totally unsure of what to do, Yuri can barely find any words of support to offer. Meanwhile, the sounds of Natsuki's unusually hard breath fills the air. Then she speaks again, barely avoided a whisper. Help me. I feel sick when I want to hit my head against things. Please help, I can't take this. You may be having a panic attack. When that realization, Yuri's demeanor suddenly changes. I have experience with this, so I'll help you through it, okay? Natsuki immediately nods through her rapid breathing, head still buried in her knees. Yuri slides herself over to Natsuki and sits a step behind her. Then she puts her hand on Natsuki's shoulder. Can you feel my hands? Natsuki nods, shaking and becoming more and more apparent through Yuri's sense of touch. Yuri keeps her voice low and gentle. Yeah, that's the thing when someone is having that's the one thing I definitely know, at least with some panic attacks. I haven't really seen it myself, but I definitely know one of the things you have to do is try to like help them calm down in that situation, because obviously they're high tense, so you gotta make sure you're like nice and calm. Like you have to try to be calm yourself and make like the atmosphere nice and relaxing to help them out. Like I know that much of what you need to do when someone's in a panic attack. Like as you can tell, what Yuri's saying right now is you're in a safe place right now, so you want to make them feel safe and relaxed at that moment. So yeah. You're safe right now. You're in a good and safe place where nothing can hurt you. Natsuki nods once more. Although Yuri is only touching Natsuki's shoulder, she can practically feel her racing pulse through the base of her neck. We'll do a breathing exercise together. All you have to do is listen to my breaths and breathe along with me. That's another thing also, like, to help with, because obviously with a panic attack, I also know that the person also, like, breathes heavily and fast as well. They're like, like that, so you try to help them slow it down and breathe more calmly. And, like, you have to have them try to match up with you. Let's breathe it in now. Yuri takes a deep, slow breath. Yep, also to slow it down as well. Beneath her hands, She feels Natsuki's shoulder rise as she takes a breath of her own, trying to mimic Yuri. Then exhales together, although Natsuki breeze shakes on the way out. That's good. Let's keep going. Yuri breathes in once more, and Natsuki joins her. They continue like that for a few more cycles when Yuri closely monitors. Eventually, Yuri feels Natsuki rest more of her weight into Yuri's palms. Let's focus on physical words. All you have to do is focus on the feeling of your breathing going in and out, and the weight of my hands on your shoulder. You're in a safe and comfortable physical space. A minute passes in silence. By now the worst has passed, but Yuri is determined not to move away until Natsuki prompts her to. Meanwhile, Natsuki has lifted her head off her knees and her breathing has mostly settled. Then she takes a final deep breath and slowly pulls herself to her feet, causing Yuri to let go. She stretches her arms. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to freak out. I don't know what my deal is. You don't have to apologize. This must be normally stressful for you. Is this going to keep happening? It may or may not. We can take measures to help prevent it in the future, but I think it will naturally get better over time. Natsuki motions to sit back down, so Yuri moves over. Yuri turns to pick up her open book from the dusty floor, which she had easily set down earlier. She brushes the dust off of the cover. I don't think I could have gone through that alone. You're not alone. Feeling shy again, Yuri speaks in her own lap. From now on, you don't have to do anything alone. As she says that, Yuri tenses up. It's rare for her to so openly share her thoughts. But something about Natsuki, of all people, makes it feel so much more natural to do so. Perhaps because like Yuri, Natsuki is timid and uncertain of herself. Natsuki does such a good job hiding it that it's taken a long time for Yuri to finally realize it. Because of that, Yuri is able to deliver the reassurance that she herself would have wanted, demonstrating that you deserve the love of others. If you can't accept that for the first time, then perhaps you can begin the tremendous journey of learning to love yourself. And then the CGI. Let's have a nice little look at this as well. Obviously, I've already seen the CGI as well because, I accidentally deleted the other one, so I'm re-recording this one, but, Do you really mean that? You're probably gonna regret saying that if you do. How so? Because we're probably gonna have a lot of free time during the weekends from now on. So you're giving me permission to be annoying as I want to, and drag you around to all these places. I see. You already said it, so you can't take it back now. Ah. Well, I suppose I have no choice but to accept that responsibility then. I know a good ice cream place. Oh? That means you finally figured out my favorite ice cream flavor. Huh? What are you talking about? Oh, you don't remember? The first day you came into the club, you guessed everyone's favorite ice cream flavor. But for me, you said you had no idea. Seriously? I don't remember that at all. I barely remember that. But to be fair, it's been months and months since I've played the side stories, so I do remember it now. Oh wait, yes I do. I said it was probably green tea. Yuri shakes her head. I guess it's a good guess, but my favorite is usually to get chocolate and raspberry together. Chocolate and raspberry? How fancy. How is it that fancy? Oh, I don't know. I feel like I should have guessed something like that. Well, maybe next time I'll try chocolate and strawberry. Hey, strawberry's my favorite. What a coincidence. I think it helps to have something to look forward to. I still have the sick feeling in my stomach, but it's easier now to convince myself that I did the right thing. Is there anything better I could be doing? Not that I know of. There's nothing that would make this easy for me. And you already did more than I thought anyone could. Come to think of it, we never talked about the letter you wrote. But I feel like we're way past that at this point. I don't even know what to talk about it. Except that I think it helped me understand my needs a little bit better. The way I liked to be treated. And the kinds of friends that I want to have. That's why I wanted to start coming here in the first place, even though I was so scared of causing more problems. I thought it was a coincidence that you ran into me here intentionally. Oh, well, not exactly. What do you mean? Nothing. I may have tracked you down first. With the help of Sayori. Sayori, you bitch! But you said I was shy, okay? I wasn't ready to, whatever, you know what I'm saying. Well, I guess I'm glad you worked up the courage. Even if it was your own way. I can tell that you've been making a lot of difficult decisions. It's brave, and it will make things better in the long run. I think anyone could be proud of you for it. Anyone? You mean, like you? Yes, like me. You know, I could get used to this. As long as you don't tease me too much. Fine. Just a little then. That's fine. I know how uncertain everything feels to you right now, but I really do think that it's a good things are in store. These are my honest feelings. Thanks. It feels nice to be reassured. The two girls continued their conversation through the remainder of lunch. But a new feeling hanging in the air, a feeling that greater certainty in their path forward. In just a few hours, there will be another literature club meeting where the 4 club members will happily spend time together. Each of them will, with their own special qualities, have something unique that others can drive into another. Through friendships and literature, the club members will continue to grow and find new happiness together. The end of each chapter starts the next. Yuri thinks to herself, since she's about to finish the long-running series, it would be best to have a new book lineup. Perhaps this weekend would be a good time to visit the bookstore. Together. As friends. So yeah, that is self-love. I don't know, well that's Files. I don't think there's really anything too much mail. Well, hang on, what's the latest? I feel like this would be the latest. So I guess I'll just have you guys look at this for a second, in case I haven't seen anything like this. This was... why does it say 2019? No, I definitely didn't play this. I don't know, maybe it's from before, I don't know. Well, anyways, that was Self-Love, and now we have the final one, which I think is about a half an hour long, which is Equals, which is the last side story that involves all of them. I do like how in Self-Love it mostly always just focused around Yuri and Natsuki as well, and not have Sayori and Monica, like, show up. Like, obviously they were mentioned, but, like, you know, they weren't really added in. Kind of like in the first side story with, what was it? The first side story was called Trust? Yeah, which that only focused Monica and Sayori. And, like, we didn't see the other two girls, except for Yuri near the end, but, like, she never really appeared at the end. And then, obviously, during time, we got introduced to them and all that. So, yeah. Without further ado, let's show off Equals. Which was also, like, there was a screenshot of this one that I put up for the end as well, so. Oh god, now I gotta put up a Monica and Sayori voice again. I was only doing the two for a while, so. Okay, everyone. We're going to be taking a break from the usual activities today. I was thinking since people are starting to talk about the festival, it's a good time for us to get a general direction of the club and all that. Excuse me. Talking makes me gassy, I'm sorry. I think it'll help us figure out what we want to do for the festival, you know? Oh, Sayori and I came up with a really good plan. Really? For the festival? Yeah, so the plan is this, okay? You and Yuri collect information ahead of time, which clubs and classes are doing food booths. Then we take a map and plan out the most efficient route so we can get the most out of them before the line gets too long. Hey, that has nothing to do with the club. Well, we do have to let me finish. Alright, fine, go ahead. Alright, so basically, we get all the food we can, then we come back here and we'll all eat it together. That's all. Wow, I got tricked twice by the same joke. Boo, don't be a hater. It's not like you can come up with anything better. Look, even Yuri's thinking about it. No, I wasn't. I'm not hungry. Your stomach says otherwise, Yuri. I would prefer to do something literature-related. We can eat together anytime. The festival is a unique opportunity. Besides, it's been quite a while since we've got any new, interested in the club. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. We really need to get at a shot at showing people what the literature club is all about. I'll tell you what we can do, right? I'll tell you what we can both do, right? We'll make time for food missions and still put together a public event. Oh my gosh, yes! I was just joking, but that's a really good idea. Well, I'm glad that settles it. That's settled. I think the question is how to come up with an event that demonstrates everything you can get out of the literature club. Well, that's kind of tough because everyone gets something different out of the club. Okay, how about this? Let's go around and have each other talk about what we got out of this club so far. Obviously, we're going to be kind of going back through all the other stuff, which you guys might have a bit more understanding from this than me, but who knows. Well, I mean, granted, this has mostly come out in between like a week or two normally of episodes, so who knows if you guys are up to date with what happened during the series. I mean, hell I know, because the last episode I tentatively recorded was months ago, and I only know Self-Love, so. Well, I think I could still remember some of it, obviously, but, you know. That could really help us figure out what kind of representation we want to build. Yeah. That's too embarrassing. Aw, but you have so much to talk about. That's exactly why. I'm not sure Natsuki feels the same way. Well, maybe, but I didn't plan on it, arguing against it or anything. I mean, it is the literature club. We talk about stuff together, right? And it's the only way to get more comfortable with it if it's to suck it up and do it. Oh, you're not wrong. I'm sorry for being resident. It's not good to stay stuck it up because it sounds like they're feeling down. They don't matter. Right, my bad. It's just a habit I need to break. Well, anyways, who's gonna start? I'll start. I was the first to join after all. Wouldn't that be me? No, I want to go first. Fine, fine, you can start. Don't bite my hand off. Jeez. I don't mind. Yay! So, gosh, it feels so like a long time ago. I think I joined because I wanted to have fun, sharing poems with people. It seemed like it would be the safe way of expressing myself. You know? Like if it was just a poem, then I can share it without feeling like I'm burdening everyone with my problems. And I thought it would be really a good way to know other people too. So yeah, I was really surprised when I walked in and it was just Monica. And she was sleeping. Don't remind me of that, oh gosh. I feel so embarrassed now. Yeah, but it seemed like it was so much fun to help start a new club. Especially since Ryan helped me so much. I wanted to see it help others too. But it ended up being me who was inspired because I remember the feeling like Monica was just so sweet and mature and I could trust her with anything. It made me feel a lot less alone. Having someone had someone who knew even the bad things about me. And at that point, I knew the literature club was going to be a special place for a lot of people. Yeah, I felt the same way. It really helped give the club more cohesive vision. Yeah, and then Yuri joined, but then she was so different from us, and Natsuki too. I think for Yuri, it really helped me to take the lead before she was able to open up a little. But Natsuki was a kind of opposite, where she wasn't ready to get really close to someone really quickly. I never really thought about that sort of thing. I really feel like I've gotten better to understanding people's different needs. And that makes me really happy, because my friends are just the most important thing to me. And whatever new member we get, I want to help them in those ways too. I don't know if I would have continued to come to a club if it weren't for you. Really? Mm-hmm. I know it wasn't too long ago, but it hurts to think about my behavior back then. I was really short-sighted. The only reason I came up was to find others who were into fantasy. I suppose that was my idea of making friends with people. And I remember feeling uncomfortable because you and I had such different energy. I had such a specific idea of the kind of person I'd like to be friends with, so when Sayori tried so hard to get to know me, I felt like I was wasting her time. I think I was naive to assume that similar interests were the key component of a friendship. Sayori and I were able to be friends because she always thinks about the needs of other people. That's something I never knew about her, how to do or even thought to do. But I stayed in the club thanks to that, and I started trying as hard as I could to understand people better. You went above and beyond when it came to that. I was just super impressed. Well, I always hated that I didn't know how to believe like a person who is easily liked by others, like the two of you can. And because of that, I spent so much time thinking about my own behavior and all the wrong things I said. But the whole time, I should have been thinking about other people, and that instead, not myself. Once I started doing that, I was able to make friends with everyone else. Oh, also, I discovered that sometimes I'm a better communicator when I take time to write rather than speak. It's so strange the way things turn out. It's so far different from anything I've ever would have expected, but I'm happy. I suppose we don't always know what we really need. Oh my gosh, you're so cute and, I'm going to throw up. Okay, please don't do that, Sayori. I'd rather not get barf on my new leather shoes. They're brand new. Please. Besides, I'm not cute. Hey, isn't that my line? Oh, well, for me, it's actually true, so... What are you saying? Nothing. She's saying you're cute, Natsuki. I finished my part, so somebody else take their turn, please. My heart! Sayori, take some deep breaths. Okay, fine, I'll go. Yuri, I can't believe you were complaining about doing this and still went before me. What a show off. I just followed up on what Sayori. It was just the easiest way to get it over with. Besides, you left out the most important thing about that you get out of this club. I did? Yeah, a regular supply of favorite cupcakes. Oh no, I forgot that too. I'm the worst. I am the traitor to the Cupcake Queen. Neither of you are forgiven. Looks like only Monica will be getting cupcakes next time. No! I can't eat that many cupcakes. Yeah, true. Only Yuri then. Hey. Well, anyways, I'm just putting off talking. It's kind of hard to talk about this stuff, but I guess what it comes down to it is that I'm in a much better place mentally than I was when I first joined. And that's because everyone helped me realize that I had some really toxic friendships going on outside the club. It was honestly a really painful thing to go through. Having to cut them out, it still hurts to think about. I'm sorry, Natsuki. It's fine. I knew it was for the best. I knew I was right. Guess for me, it's all about feelings. I was only ever ridiculed for having feelings, so I thought the right thing to do was to just ignore them. It took me a really long time to realize that it's not only how things are supposed to work. And I guess that thanks to everyone who took the time to respect my feelings, even when I was being like the biggest jerk. I'm really sorry for being such a jerk to everyone. I was really the worst. Natsuki's voice chokes a little. We love you, Natsuki. I just hate that I was like that. Everyone did so much for me. I could never do anything in return. That's not true. Natsuki, you've done a lot more than you think. This club really wouldn't have been the same without you. I mean that. Remember how judgmental I was when you showed up? It's like I couldn't accept anything other than my own idea for what the literature club was supposed to be. Apparently that was more important to me than the opportunity to bring you some happiness. Excuse me. You really taught me that anything that makes someone happy is worthy of respect. You even inspired me to start playing piano. That's something that means a whole lot to me. Yeah, I remember that episode where I was trying to put it all into one episode, but then I literally had to cut another recording in there because it was taking forever. So there was no need to put yourself down. And I will say, at least for this one, I meant to make it at least another recording. Okay. Natsuki wipes her eyes. You helped me a lot too. It's so much fun to have you around, and you helped me become a better person. Ooh, excuse me. Having a problem doesn't make you really needy or inconvenient. It makes that there's something that you need to be better for you, and you always deserve that. I agree. Seeing us have some of the same struggles made me a better person as well. I wouldn't want to change anything about our time here. I don't think any of us would. I can't speak, I'm sorry. I told you I'm not good with talking. I'm sorry, I got all dramatic again. That's all I wanted to say. So, Monica, you can go now. There's no need to apologize. It was something I wanted to talk about. Anyways, because it made a big difference for me. I was always such a strict perfectionist who never took enough time to believe in the best of other people. But everyone kept proving me wrong. I made the mistake multiple times, thinking that my way was the best for everyone, or thinking that I was needed to solve people's problems. But I think being a leader means that you have to acknowledge that you're not perfect, and that the best thing you can do is help guide people rather than do everything for them. Hang on, what was the beginning? Because there was something I wanted to say. To acknowledge that you're not perfect. Yeah, not being perfect. Like, honestly, no one's perfect, and if you think you're perfect, then get the fuck out. You're not. No one's perfect. But like, you know, you can help. You can also like go out and help people if they're struggling with something and help them become good at it. You know, and stuff. You know, kind of like how Monica's saying. I don't know if I'm even saying this right. I'm not good with giving advice. See, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. Some other famous like YouTubers aren't perfect. Obviously, like not everyone's perfect. You have to always realize that, and not everyone is how you assume to be. Obviously, there's some assholes and some dickholes out there and everything, but there are some good people too, and obviously good people aren't perfect too. Like, they also make some bad decisions over time, so, you know. I'm also going to do a little cut here since I feel like it's a good time, since we're only 35 minutes into this recording, so just in case we still need to go over 10 minutes, I'm just going to do a quick reset, so, yeah. And we are back. There we go, just a small little cut, you know, something simple. Anyways, back to what we were saying. The thing being a leader, acknowledging you're not perfect, blah, 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 we just talked about that. We're all good people. We're all equal. We're all equal. Everyone in this earth is equal, like I was saying. I think that's the most important thing I've gotten out of the club, realizing what that really means. Suri, what are you doing? I just thought that we should be writing some of these things down. Things about the club that are valuable to us. With the pieces of chalk in her hand, Siri writes down the words trust on the chalkboard. This is because you showed me that I could trust you with everything about me, not just my good side. Suddenly Yuri takes a piece of chalk as well, and she writes understanding. I owe a lot of gratitude to everyone who took the time to understand me, even though it was so difficult for me to express myself. In that case, Monica takes a piece of chalk as well and writes down the word respect. I always thought I was a respectful person, but it took the club for me to realize that there was more to it than I thought, and I'm a better person because of it. Oh, I have another one! Siri writes balance. Sometimes people want different things out of a friendship, or they need time before they are ready to become close. So it's important to keep things balanced between you and the other person. That reminds me, Yuri writes down reflection. I've always been a reflective person, but most of it has been nothing more than hating myself for all the things I thought I did wrong. Once I started reflecting on other people, and not just myself, and not just myself, a lot of things changed of me. Sorry, I told you I'm not good with speaking. So I think that's the most important one for me. That's great. We have a whole list of things now. Suddenly, everyone turns and looks at Natsuki. Well, everyone else took all the chalk. Don't look at me like that, jeez. You could have just asked. Monica hands her piece of chalk to Natsuki. Then she writes self-love. I don't know how far I would have gone with it yet, but it feels like there are at least on the right track. So there's that's my contribution. Together, everyone stares at the words at the board. Wasn't this club supposed to be about literature? It is. We still do a lot of literature. Friendship and literature. This is what the game should have been called. Friendship and literature. Yeah, you're right. Friendship and literature. Natsuki and Yuri generally not as well. Hey, let's all take a picture together. We don't have one yet, right? Hey, you're right. Make sure you send it to me after. Wait, can I brush my hair first or something? Oh, you're fine. You already have the best hair out of all of us. Hmm. Everyone, let's get together. I can't fit you all in. Okay. Okay, everyone. Ready? And click. No, we don't get to see the picture yet. They tricked us. I'm really glad we got to talk about this stuff. It's easy to forget how far we've become. We've come with only 4 members. Yeah, I have so many happy thoughts right now. I'm getting some really good inspiration for poems. You know, I feel the same way. I kind of want to do something, get some writing done. Me too. I think I would like that as well. Everyone's looking at me again. I'll do it too, but I may not feel like sharing it. That's okay. Until later. The 4 members of the literature club, despite in return to their desks, each equipping themselves with a pen. Natsuki and Yuri give each other a quick glance and start writing immediately. Yuri stretches, then does the same. But Monica is left tapping her pen against the paper, unsure of where to start. Just move your hand, Monica mouths to herself. Right the way into your heart. Her mind is full of thoughts, memories, inspiration. Monica's negative past her mental barriers and begins to write. It doesn't matter what it doesn't matter what, just that it's something new. I guess that was supposed to be an ending sentence, but I guess that wasn't the case. I guess we could. Oh, yeah, Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. Guess I could have ended that at the end there, but there you go. And we get the credits. I don't think I've ever really had the volume up. My bad. Oh, there. Now you get to listen to some music for the end. But honestly, this game has definitely been like a nice inspiration for everyone. I mean, hell, there's been a lot of mods out there. I haven't played them myself, but I have watched other people play them before. Specifically, this one other YouTuber called Afro0. You know, he does a lot of DLC mods, which, like, a lot of them, like, they have a bunch of jokes in them, but they also have some, like, real touching moments as well, which is, like, great and amazing. Especially also, like, with this game, like, with Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, how they literally add this to their main game, pretty much. Like, they've added the side stories to their actual main game, which is pretty nice. They might have also taken the inspiration from modders, you know, because, you know. And it's also nice to, like, think that it's not just, like, you know, has to do with something with just relationships. Like, you care about your friends, too, obviously. Like, obviously, it's about, like, caring about people, like, care about people you trust and all that. Which, you know, is pretty nice. Like, people, when they first look at this game, think it's just a normal dating sim. It's like, ew, which girl am I gonna go with? Oh, this person. But, like, as you get to know the characters and how they feel through their problems and stuff, you get to kind of, like, well, for one, relate to them if you kind of have these type of problems, and two, like, obviously as the MC, you feel like you help. Thank you, dear player, for enjoying our story of friendship and literature. No problem. But yeah, Made with Love by Team Salvato. And there's the final picture. That was the one I had in my background desktop earlier, but, like, obviously I took it down, so, you know, you guys weren't spoiled on what the picture was. The last CG. And yeah, and now I can finally put that back up. I don't know if I'm missing some pictures. I guess there's a poem I missed, but I don't know. There's 2 poems I missed. I don't know how I'm supposed to get those poems. There's another poem too with funny faces, which is something now. Okay, now everyone make a funny face. Everyone say cheese. I'm gonna put this one's my wallpaper because it's better. And of course we got extra poems. These are like secret poems, which I don't know how to normally get. I think they're like more DLC stuff. Or DLC, you know what I mean. I think this one's nice. They're all in like a group chat together, you know, which is nice. And there's like a special little Halloween one as well with Monica. And just like some of the design stuff in here, which is pretty nice, honestly. And of course you have the emails and files and all that. But yeah, honestly, good game, honestly. Like, obviously, some people, when they first look at it, they think it's a Dane sim or whatever, but like, after you gotta go through the story, even like, just the main game, with it being like a horror experience after little Monica and Sayori to begin with. Spoiler alert if you haven't figured that out already. But like, you know, she kind of starts cutting friends from her life, but then like, you know, you kind of get to relate with these characters, help through the problems and all, and even through like the DLC, like DDLC mod. It's hard to not say just DLC because it's literally like you just have to add an extra D at the start, so DDLC, and that stands for Doki Doki Literature Club, obviously. And like, there's been a lot of like great mods out there. I haven't really seen a lot of mods lately, but like there have been like a lot of like Doki Doki mods out there with different kind of stories and stuff, which is kind of nice, honestly. Obviously, some could be better. I'm actually watching this one series on Afro Zeros, which is kind of relating to the Walking Dead Telltale series in a way. But that one does have some iffy problems, and obviously not everyone's perfect, like we've mentioned before. Not everyone's perfect at making these kind of things. But like, there are some things to point out at times in games as well to like, you know, make better. But there are some good mods out there that like really like hype up your emotions and all that. Especially like if you're playing the MC and you go like through a specific route with one of these fine girls in these mods, like you feel like you feel good about yourself in a way. I don't know. Something like that. I don't know what to really say in that moment, but still, like honestly, Doki Doki Literature Club has been a good game. A lot of people have played it. I mean, I know some famous people like Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, and the Game Grumps. They've played this before, but obviously they haven't really like done a lot of the mod stuff because, well, obviously they're not the hugest fans. But of course they did play it eventually. And at least Game Grumps, I know they did the side stories as well once that came out. Obviously, Mark and Jacksepticeye didn't, but they might still like this game. I don't know, I haven't seen their Let's Play on it for a while, so, you know. But, like, it definitely has all of these different twists and turns and different fun stories. Like, honestly, the mods are also pretty good. But, anyways, that's going to cut it for this series. Obviously, this is one giant last episode for this, and I'm going to hopefully get this out there by the next week as well. So this will be on the week of between the 14th and the 18th. So whenever this comes out, there you go. And I'm literally recording this on the 2nd of March. So about 2 weeks ago, I finished this game properly. Now, I mean, I've already finished it before, but me being a dumb, stupid head that I am, I accidentally deleted some of the future episodes. But luckily, we didn't have that much left. And unfortunately, if I did miss something that I was going to be doing, I'm probably not going to do it because I, for one, don't even remember what it is, and I don't feel like watching through my videos again just to figure out what I've been missing, which might have been in the main DDLC thing, which is a certain ending or something, but you can always find that online or whatever, so, you know. I just kind of want to get my thoughts on this game and all, so, you know. Long episode, but, you know, we had fun here, and it's the end of this series, and hopefully I can start off another new series sometime soon as well. There are some games I do want to kind of start making, especially since at this point also I've already put out my 7th anniversary video, which hopefully you guys have enjoyed the multiple videos on that day. I literally put out 3 extra videos besides my thank you one. I don't know if I've done a live stream yet on that day. It's obviously it's not the anniversary day yet, but like there's that. But obviously going in between between the 7th to 8th year of YouTube that I've been on, I would like to start playing some other games that I have saved on here. Like, okay, for instance, we'll kind of get out of Doki Doki Literature Club now. I don't know if there's really much with Pokemon Snap we got to play. Obviously, we should probably play some more Game Beasts at some point. Maybe even Pokemon Unite. We're working on Diamond and Arceus already. We might continue with Slime Rancher, I don't know, which obviously, as you guys know, what happened. But we will continue on my main game if needed. I gotta definitely continue the this one at some point. There's some other games that I did also get recently. I don't really think we need to do this, especially since I did during the drunk stream. But yeah, there's some of the ones down here. So we have like SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. I bought that some time ago. I like to play it. There's also Hello Neighbor. And I've also had this one for the longest time, Firewatch. There's also Pokemon Cafe Mix, Ninjala, which I don't even have downloaded for that. We need to start this at some point after the Walking Dead series. Ethers, and there's also Subnautica I almost missed. Like, Subnautica is also a big game that would be good. So there's quite a lot of games I would like to play, but then there's also some games that are also coming out this year, which, 2 big games that are coming out this year that I'm excited for is Sonic Frontiers and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which are coming out by the end of the year. We also have Mario & Rabbids Sparks of Hope. That's coming out this year. We're getting Splatoon 3 sometime this year. Literally Kirby's coming out by the end of this month, which I don't know if I'm going to get right away because I'm going to be trying to save my money because I still need to look for a job at the point of recording this. What other games are coming out? Well, there's also the DLC of Mario Kart that is coming out as well. Like, that's going to be interesting. There's just a lot of games to kind of cover, which, at least I have some stuff to record. But there's also a lot of stuff I still have to upload, too. Like, you know what? I'm going to tell you guys what I still need to upload this time. Because there is a lot of videos I still need to do. This video is already long, so I thought I'd kind of continue this. If you're already kind of done with watching this video, and because the Doki Doki part is done, then you're welcome to leave. I'm just telling you guys what stuff we already have for the main channel. Obviously, we're still doing some Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. I still have episodes 26 to 45, which I think actually it's going to be 46, because I literally did another video of that recently. Legends of Arceus, I have 12 to 39 ready to go. Well, actually 40. And then like up to 42 I have fully recorded. Suicide Guy is actually almost done. We have Slime Rancher, which only have one more episode to come out. And then there's a couple episodes of World of Zoo, which I still need to record some of that as well. So, small things. And there's also stuff for my challenge channel and podcast channel I'm going to have to do. So, a lot of stuff here and there, but that's just things that have to work. So obviously there might be some time before I play some of these games, but I will try to get to these type of games in the near future. Maybe I'll try to get to Firewatch as soon as I can, actually. That might try to be the next project I work on. So maybe after I get this episode out there, I will start working on this project, Firewatch, which is a pretty good game as well, so, stay tuned for that. But anyways, I've left this video long enough. We'll end things here. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys like this video, press the like button or subscribe, whatever. And I'll see you dudes in the next video. See you dudes next time. So, did you think you were doing well? Oh no. Hunter! Wait, what? Ah, great. Oh, oh my god. Oh god. Oh, jeez. I didn't think to be trying to steal faces again. Can I even use them without their faces?